Humans are awesome.
Derek, why'd you take your pants off?
My balls was hot.
There's a reason that we have been the top of the food chain for more than 1 million years. Our ingenuity, our creativity, our willpower, all of these can be put under a single category, our intelligence. Combined, all of these aspects make for a frighteningly efficient and complex species that has managed to do things like cause the extinctions of countless animals, making an island out of waste 3 times the size of France in the Pacific, and having 130 million pieces of space debris in orbit around our planet. Only we could do these things, and only we can reverse them, which, in all fairness, we have been working on doing. My point is, our intelligence was key into getting us from having to do this to being able to do this
That looks like salad.
and not get clubbed to death for committing your life to a cardinal sin. But, as important as our intelligence was in our unstoppable rise and is in our eventual downfall, it wasn't our only aspect that got us where we are today. I am, of course, referring to our body. Now, I'd like to clarify that I'm talking about when our bodies used to look like this, and not like this, because our bodies now are actually physically weaker and less capable than they used to be. Unless, of course, you look like Noel Dazel. But you guys only make up a small percentage of the population, so shut up. I'm talking about when the human body was at its peak, when modern humans didn't have a choice between surviving and jerking off in their rooms all day. So, with all that in mind, let's go over some of the reasons that our bodies are, or were, superior to our animal contemporaries. So, to start, I think everyone watching this that can comprehend the words coming out of my mouth know that humans are not very fast runners. This isn't a recent development either, it's always been like this. Hell, the fastest man on the planet is only slightly faster than a domesticated dog and gets left in the dust by a horse that can run double his top speed. However, we did, have a leg up on animals, and that leg up comes in the form of endurance running. Back when humans had no choice but to go out and hunt for their food, a lot of humans would simply run their prey to death, as a lot of animals simply don't have the advantages that we do when it comes to endurance running. Advantages like sweating over the entire body, not having that much body hair, and short toes meant that we could run many of our prey to death with ease. That is why you should be scared of zombies in movies like 28 Days Later, because these assholes will not stop running. The list of animals that outdo us in endurance is short, and we ride 3 out of 5 of them anyway, so we still win. Another advantage we have is our muscles and our appendages. Everyone knows, or should know, that our thumbs help us immensely in holding things that our big ape brains invented, but we wouldn't be able to use our thumbs as much as we do if we weren't bipedal. By all accounts, becoming bipedal and using our hands to make shit was the point of no return for our prey. At that point, we were destined to become apex predators. Another advantage we have is our ability to go weeks and even months without eating under the right conditions. A regular old human can survive up to a month without food, which is on par with animals like the camel, but technically we're better than them anyway since they have humps on their back to store fat and water to draw from, while all we have is fat people. There was a dude named Angus Barbieri that weighed about 460 pounds that survived for 382 days without eating, getting by on vitamin supplements, water, and naturally calorie-free drinks like sparkling water, tea, and coffee. By the end of the whole ordeal, the guy weighed a healthy 180 pounds. This guy wasn't a one-off either. There was a guy in England named Dennis Gaylor Goodwin that went for over a year at 385 days on a hunger strike until he was forced to eat through a tube by the police. However, I really don't recommend trying straight starvation diets like at all, as these were phased out in the 70s and 80s because of how dangerous they were. I just included these examples to illustrate the absolute extent of humans surviving starvation that we've recorded. Typically, for a healthy primal male, you could expect him to go for a week or two before he kinda starts becoming useless, but primal men typically never went that long. They'd usually go upwards of 3 days without eating before going hunting. Yet another advantage we have is that we're strong. Like, hella strong. Like, a 70-year-old farmer killed a leopard with his bare hands level strong. Guy had a machete and everything, but decided to drop it because God told him that he would be more of a badass if he killed a leopard with his hands. And you know what? God was right. Yet another advantage is that we are way harder to kill than we first seem. Now, your first thought may be, well gee whiz Craig, that'll be very comforting the next time I encountered a pissed off bear or a hungry lion. But that's not what I mean. Think of it this way. Say you're a modern human out hunting with a detachment from your village. You come up on a shortfall, but you don't see it in time. You fall and land weird, and your leg is broken. What are you gonna do? Well, obviously you're gonna get up and limp your way back to the village, right? Maybe if it's a really bad break, you'll have to enlist the help of like 1 or 2 of your fellow hunters to carry you back home. But once you get there, you get some sticks, some vines, some sort of string or something, and use those objects to straighten out your leg, and you should be up and running in like 3 weeks or a month's time. What the hell does an animal like a horse do when its leg is broken? Yeah, it either falls over and dies of dehydration or goes into shock and dies. Shit, man, if we lose our leg, we could just fucking make a new one. Like, has anyone stopped to think about how crazy that is? No, of course not, because we've been the best for millennia. One more thing I'd like to mention before I go is not really related to the body, but still pretty interesting. Humans operate in packs, right? This makes us efficient because on top of all this shit that I just mentioned, which, by the way, doesn't even scratch the surface, we basically septuple our numbers to make sure that we stay alive. And it works, as evidenced by the 7 billion of us that are slowly destroying this big rock that we live on. Anyway, another deadly species of animal that relies on endurance and running in packs are wolves. And what have we done with wolves? We domesticated them. We took them under our wing and used them for defense and hunting. So what have we learned today? Well, your body is awesome and you should be proud to be a human. That's what. Anyways, I'm really starved on things to say here, so, I have a Discord server you can join. We're thinking of starting a Minecraft server where we're gonna rotate mod packs every month, and we'll let you guys vote on what you think is best. My name is Vincent Van Bro on the server. I'll link the server in the description, just in case you want to join. But it's late. I gotta get to work in the morning, so, I'm gonna go to bed. Have a good night.